reenactment of the way that people lived their lives in the past has actually been a really popular aspect of archaeology over many years. Very often it's undertaken by volunteers, but these are people who actually spend a lot of time reading and learning about minutiae of life in a particular period.
This is a Viking A-frame tent. This would have been the sail off the boat. And what they do when they land, they use the sail to make a shelter. So even though we're using planks, they would have used whatever they could, branches and that, just to make the actual frame. Most of what you call weapons are actually tools that were used around the farm. So most weapons would have been a general tool. So you've got your axe. Axe, yes, is for killing somebody, but of course an axe is for chopping wood or carving or anything. A spear, yes, you can kill someone with a spear, you can stab them with a spear, but of course the spear was for hunting. So if people were told, right, we're off to war, we're off to battle, they would have a spear, they would have an axe. So that's why they all fought with spears and axes. You then had the Dane axe, and this became well known in 1066. And then the only weapon that actually is a killing weapon, of course, is the sword. The sword is developed for nothing but a killing weapon. And a Viking sword is not a stabbing weapon, it's a cleaver. That's why it's got such a broad blade. It's for hacking. But not many people had these, only professional warriors, because the sword is equivalent today of having a Ferrari. Because metal was so expensive in them days. This is why we're saying that the chance of finding a sword here today, quite, you might do, but they would have been picked up and reused.
Because we did an excavation last year in 2014, we need to use the evidence from that excavation to lead us in how we go about excavating this year. So Chaz is just having a chat with Bob at the moment, using the photos from last year to try and give him an idea of what to expect to find as they go down looking for the causeway in Trench 1.
The instructions to the diggers there was to go down, because I wanted to see, first of all, I wanted to record the base, the base of the stones there, and then I wanted the clay layer underneath the wheel. So you will see that there are some holes that they've dug down, so that we could get the staff down into it. But they've actually only taken it back to the stone, the loosish stone layer, and they stopped when they got to the very hard layer. But what is that at the very top, though?
It's always interesting trying to find evidence of something which only happened one day, which is basically a Battle of Fulford. So it's a kind of totally different kind of a dig to looking at habitation. You're just really trying to find what the landscape was like so you can explain the battle a bit. And what we're doing here is we're slowly going through various levels of soil, looking for any dating evidence in them, like pottery or finds, any other kind of finds.
It's so dry, isn't it?
It is. Really nice and good, nice and crumbly. You can spot finds. And then as we get very close to this bottom layer, we know there's a nice stone causeway. And when we get very close to it, we'll be very carefully scraping off the soil to uncover the causeway, because we want to find out how the causeway is made up. That there's indications it's big stones, maybe with a fine stone gravel layer on top, with maybe edging stones. And then what we'll do is we'll take a section of the causeway and go down through it, trying to find dating evidence so we can say what age the causeway is.